What the hell happened to the MCU in 2021? Because just 2 years earlier, the MCU was untouchable. I'm talking peak entertainment, dominance. 2 Avengers films, both make over $2 billion, a decade-long story that actually stuck the landing. This wasn't just success. This was the blueprint every other student was desperately trying and failing to copy. So how did we go from that to whatever 2021 was supposed to be? See, 2019 wasn't just a high point. It felt like the end of something perfectly planned. Every character arc paid off. Every tease delivered. Everything connected. And that cohesion, that connection, that was the MCU's biggest strength. I mean, as a kid, that's what made it special to me. Not just the big fights or the casting, the feeling that everything existed in the same world. Little things like the idea of the super soldier program popping up across multiple films, characters casually referencing each other, events from movies actually affecting the TV shows. It made the MCU feel real, lived in, like stories were happening with or without you watching. And yeah, it wasn't perfect. Take Captain America the Winter Soldier. You've got throwaway references to Frank Castle and Doctor Strange before they're fully introduced. And do they even make sense? Not really. But it didn't matter because everything else was so tight, you trusted it. But then we hit Avengers Endgame, and suddenly there were no threads left, no teasers, no big bad looming in the background. The Endgame had come, and for the first time ever in a decade, Marvel had to start from scratch. Then 2020 happens and the world shuts down. Everything pauses. And honestly, for Marvel, that should have been perfect. A full year to reset, a full year to figure out what the next saga even is, even fix the timeline gap and catch up a year to Endgame. Instead, 2021 happened, and what followed was one of the most confusing, overloaded, and honestly baffling years the MCU has ever had. Let me ask you something. How many Marvel projects do you think came out in 2021? Take a second, because the actual answer is insane. When you add it all up, it's more screen time than all of Phase 1 and 2 combined. Yeah. Let that sink in. And the craziest part is, it's not just how much content we got, it's what those stories actually did to the MCU, because this is where things start to feel off. And let's start with Black Widow. Now, this film was already overdue from the pandemic, but the key thing here is the villain. You've got the Red Room, run by Dracov, a man operating in the shadows with a global network of assassins. And you know what his whole thing is? Quietly removing political figures, controlling outcomes, and subtly shaping the world to his liking. Wily just sits in the background, barely seen. Cut to Shang-Chi, high up in the mountains. There's another man at the head of an organization that's existed for centuries, the Ten Rings, led by Wenwu. And what does he do? Well, he commands assassins across the globe, takes out political threats, and shapes the world to his liking. While he just sits in the background, barely seen. Okay, let's cut again to Loki. Different setting, different scale, but you've probably got the idea by now. You see, the TVA, well, they're an organization outside of time. They don't just control countries, they control reality. Ruining timelines, erasing people, making sure everything happens according to the plan. All under the direction of someone. We don't even see him. Something sitting in the background, shaping everything. Now let's just let that hit for a second. 3 projects, same year, same core villain concept. So how does this even happen? I mean, this is the MCU we're talking about here. The franchise that's built its reputation on cohesion, on everything feeling connected, even when it's not perfect. And now all of a sudden, you've got 3 stories doing the same thing, and none of them even acknowledge each other. The reason why I say that is because them acknowledging each other is probably more interesting than what we got anyway. For example, does the Red Room know about the Ten Ring? Are they competing? I mean, what happens if the Ten Rings want someone alive and the Red Room wants them dead? That's interesting. And not even in the main films. I mean, in background material, it'd be cool to know if they know about each other and if they're competing or racing to kill people. You know, are they fighting in the background? I mean, who knows? I mean, these were, again, introduced in the same year. These are things that I guarantee you, not just me was thinking, like, these are obvious things that they're both doing the same thing, and I want to know if they met each other. I mean, logically, they should know about each other, but obviously they're just disconnected, separate bubbles. And you know, the thing is, I thought they'd fix it because they were handed a perfect opportunity. Okay, let's go back to Loki. Spoilers for a 5-year-old show, but at the end of Loki, Sylvie kills He Who Remains. And by doing that, the sacred timeline breaks and reality branches. Chaos begins. And me, little old me, I thought that was going to be the foundation of Phase 4, the moment everything else would connect to. Why wouldn't it be? Okay, taking a step back, let's look at WandaVision. Same year. Again, same year. This all came out in the same year. Wanda takes control of the Darkhold, and the show makes a huge deal out of it. And in my head, I thought, this has to be connected. The exact moment the timeline branches in Loki, Wanda embraces chaos magic. These moments feel like they were happening in parallel, like the universe was shifting at the same time. You've got another one, Spider-Man No Way Home. Again, same year. Peter breaks Doctor Strange's spell, and suddenly, different things from different universes are coming in, different villains, crossing timelines, crossing realities. Whole thing's gone upside down, you know? That, again, could connect perfectly. Strange's spell breaking could be the exact point in parallel of the hero remains dying. It makes sense. I mean, these are huge events. Same year, same opportunity, the perfect platform for Phase 4. I guess I really believe Marvel had a plan for this, like it would all eventually click together, that later projects would reveal these moments were happening at the exact same time, and that 2021 wasn't just messy, it was set up. But instead, they just didn't mention it, just kept moving forward and stopped feeling like it was moving together. And honestly, that's when Marvel stopped feeling like Marvel to me. Okay, and to be fair, I know it's just a theory for me. Like, I get that this whole, the timeline splits and these Nexus events sort of thing happen at the same time. Like, okay, that's just a theory for me. But I do feel like there's enough crumbs and enough stuff that you could have done in that year to make that happen. If Kevin Feige had just thought about it for a second, this could have worked. But instead, everything feels so disconnected that you're not even in the same universe. So what have we learned from Marvel? I mean, number one is that you have to stick to what worked. And what I mean is, stick to the world building that made you so good. I mean, no one could touch you. DC tried, the Dark Universe tried, everything's trying to be like you, and now you're not even like you because you're relying on cameos, which is obviously not going to work. Of course, in the same vein, you have to let creatives do what they do best. You know, the best Marvel films are the ones where the creatives can create. There's a reason Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is one of the better films in Phase 4, because it just worked, and it's James Gunn's vision that he's just been allowed to do. And finally, if you're going to introduce a secret society of assassins twice in 1 year, please have them interact.